Hello everyone, Emmanuel here again. You're welcome to my channel eLearn Tech Skills. If this is the first time you're coming to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, like my videos, share so that more people can benefit from these videos that I'm making. Alright, in today's tutorial, we're going to talk about Python functions. So function is a snippet of code you write to be able to reuse within your code. So anytime you think about something that you want to have repeated, you can always put it as a function so that you won't have to rewrite that snippet of code again. It's all about just calling it later in your code. We have two types of functions in Python. We have the built-in function and we have the custom-made function. I'm sure you're already familiar with so many built-in functions. Functions like print. Print is a function, and every function must have a bracket in front of them. So some functions require a parameter, some does not. So all of this concept I have carefully talked about in the video. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So we've spoken about a lot of built-in functions like extend, append. We also have pop and so many other ones. Python interpreter just to help us, run some tasks. For example, if let's say I want to add two numbers together, there is a sum. So let's say I have a list called some maybe s num just for some numbers. So I can have some random numbers there, like so. So I can say s equals to sum s num, just like that. So I can print out s now. So what I'm doing right here is to be able to pass some on top of this list so that it adds all the elements together for us. So let's see if that works. Obviously it will work. So you can see it gave us 14. So sum only works on a list. That's the indication. Alright. So that is also a function. So how do you make your own custom function that does things? So now, to make a function, you need to have the keyword def, and then you give your function a name. So like I explained in earlier, function is a snippet of code that does something, and it helps you to reuse that snippet of code later in your code. So you need to first of all create a function and then you call it. That's how you use the function. So you have def, short for define, and you give that function a name. Let's say hello. That's what the function is. And then let's pass an argument to it. So now this name variable that I pass into it, we call it parameter. So the function has a parameter. That means it will request that you supply this name before it can work. Alright, so let's say msg, short for message, equals to hello, and I'm going to use hello then plus name. So what this is going to do is going to put hello and is going to add the name. Alright, so let's now see the return. Please return msg. So at the end of your function, you want to add the return keyword. So that's going to be the final output of this function. Now let's try to call it. So I can say print, say hello, and I'm going to put a bracket here. And of course, it's demanding for a name. So let me just say Joe. Joe is going to be the name. So if I print this, you can see it says hello joy rather. I said Joe instead of joy. Alright, so You can see hello joy. That's what is printing out because this is what I defined in the function. I said it should say hello. So this plus sign here is called concatenation. That is joining two items together. Alright. So that's exactly how to do that in Python. So another way of writing a function is you can actually write a function that doesn't have any parameter, that doesn't take any argument. So we can have def greet. By convention, the name of your function should be in all lowercase. Alright, so I can say msg, short for message, equals to good morning, my people. Let's just say that's it. So we're going to use the return keyword to return msg. Alright, so here now we can call the function by saying print greet. So if we have that, now you can see, oh, so it's printing out the memory address of this function because we actually didn't put the bracket here. If you didn't put the bracket, it's not going to print out the output. This is not an error, this is just the memory address of this particular function. Alright, so this time around, because I put the bracket, if you print it now, you see good morning, my people. Alright, so that doesn't require any argument. It just prints out a greeting. Alright. So now as much as we have, this function is so useful. We can use it in so many ways. So let's say I want to actually get odd number out of a list. So I can say nums set equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now these are different numbers and I want to only get out only the odd numbers. Ways to do that is to create a function called maybe get odd. You can call it any name you want. That's just the name I can think of right now. So, and I'm going to have the list as a variable. It's going to request for a list. So the list can be anything. So I'm going to say for I in the list, if I modulus 2 is equal to, okay, get odd is not equals to 0, print I. So this is what I'm doing. I'm saying for every element in the list, if the element in the list is divided by 2 and the answer is not equal to 0, it should get printed. So that is what this function is going to do. So let's try to see the output. Print get odd. So of course get odd also needs a parameter, the list. So the list, we have a list here called nums. So I can just pass that nums here. So this is going to print out only the odd numbers here. Let's see if that did work. And you take a look at that, you see it only printed out the odd number, 1, 3, and 5. Okay, so what if I want to print out even numbers? So if I want to print out even, I can say get even, and maybe a list is what I'm requesting for. And in this case, I say for I in a list, if I modulus 2 is equal to 0, of course this time because we want to get the even number, we say print I. Alright, so now let's try to print this out to see the outcome. Print get even. Of course, because it's a function, I need to, and it needs a list. So let me see. we still have the nums. So here I'm going to print out. And if you take a look at that, you see it only printed out the even numbers. So that's really straightforward. All right. So that's so many ways to create a custom function and the way to also call them.